What up, mathletes? So today, me and my special guest here are going to talk about word problems. In particular, we're going to look at word problems that involve circles, areas, and circumferences. Right, Toby? He's excited. Let's get to it. All right, so let's dive into this problem. Let's see what we got here. To celebrate their victory, the girls' ice hockey team goes out for pizza. All right, part A. The goalie eats half of a pizza that has a diameter of 20 inches. That's my kind of goalie. What is the area of the pizza that she ate, and which flavor was it? All right. And then they want us to answer, what is the length of the crust that she ate? The big question is, was it stuffed crust? That's what the world wants to know. Leave your answers in exact form, so make sure you write your answer in terms of pie. Pie, pizza, let's dive in. All right. So first question, what is the area? Notice, I have the area formula right here for you. So what this formula says is we need the radius, but they give us the diameter. So let's write that down. Our diameter is 20 inches. So that means the radius is, boom, half of that. Good, 10 inches. So let's go ahead and plug that in right there. So we got the area equals pi times 10 squared. We keep seeing these in my videos. What is going on? So 100 squared gives, 10 squared gives us 100, and we're going to leave it in terms of pi. We are talking about area, so make sure that you tell your audience what are the units. And we're talking about inches squared. So that's part A, folks. That's what they wanted to know, the area. But remember, they also wanted to know the length of the crust. So let me think about this. The length of the crust. Well, if I have this pizza, let's look at this pizza down here. When they're talking about the length of a crust, what they're talking about is this arc length. So, which is circumference. We're really looking for that circumference. All right. So, and remember, they tell us that she ate half of that pizza. All right. So that brings a huge point, because this is the area of the entire pizza. But did she eat the whole pizza? Let's read. She eats half of the pizza. So what do I have to do with this area? Because you thought we were done. So we're going to take that area of 100 pi, and we're going to divide it by 2. So always make sure that you understand the problem, because it can get tricky, right? So the area that the goalie eats is 50 pi square inches. So this is the real answer to part A. All right. So now that we understand that we have a pizza and we're only talking about half, right? So that's going to come in handy, especially when we go and find the length. So let's go ahead and dive into that. All right, so let's find that length of the crust. All right, so we're talking about this length right here of the crust, which is really the arc length, right? That's the distance we're looking for. And remember, the formula is we take the circumference, and then we're only looking at the proportion, that ratio, that fraction of this entire circumference. And what we see is, in our formula, we need the radius, which we have, and we need the angle. But remember, look at our angle here. Whenever we have this straight line, we know we're dealing with 180 degrees. So that's our theta, right? That's the angle we're going to be looking at. And they gave us the diameter of 20 inches. So we know the radius we said is half of that. All right, so let's plug all this in. All right, so our arc length, I'll call it AL. or L for short, is 2 times pi times my radius, which we know is 10, and then we're going to multiply that by a fraction here, 180 divided by 360, which is just half, right? We could look at this, and this is half of the entire circle, which is 360. So we know 180 over 360, that's just half. All right, so let's do some math magic. So we end up with 20 pi times 1/2. No calculator needed here, because we're just taking half of 20. And half of 20, my friends, is 10. So we're left with 10 pi, and because we're talking about a length, and we're looking at inches, there's our arc length right there, 10 pi inches. So here's my challenge to you as you read B, C, and onward. Try to use this type of logic to help you understand these problems, right? Make sure you understand them before you just jump in there and start using formulas. Make sure the formulas that you use make sense. This is a good challenge, right? And if you struggle, that's the whole point. The whole point of math is to struggle so you can make those math gains. So remember to like the video, subscribe, and I'll see you with your questions next time.